Hi, and welcome. My name is Alan, and I'm the director here at Horizon Counselling Services. Today, I want to talk to you about imposter syndrome, what it is, and maybe some ways that you could deal with it. Imposter syndrome is something that a lot of us feel, we experience. It's about constantly pressurizing yourself to work harder in order to keep others from recognizing that you have shortcomings or failures. It's a little conversation that goes on in our head that says that we're not good enough. We have to feel that we're worthy of the roles, that someone's not going to catch us out, prove that we're incompetent on our job, almost to make up for what we feel is a lack of intelligence or understanding. And it's all this pressure that builds on us. But to ease our feelings, we work harder, because we have this guilt over maybe tricking people into allowing them to believe that we're something that we feel we're not. We put a tremendous effort into this. It takes a tremendous toll on us. It can be really difficult. There's lots of different types. I'm just going to name a few at the moment. There's maybe the perfectionist. They focus basically on making sure that everything has to be perfect. It has to be done right. And sometimes this can lead to them not doing anything, because that pressure for you to get it all there, to do it exactly how it should be so nobody can pick fault on it, is tremendous. It's a huge weight. We can have the person that likes to do things on their own. They don't want help. They want to be able to prove both to themselves and to other people that they don't need help. They don't need anybody else. Yeah? So they don't ask. They just stumble on, and that pressure can build because we can't know everything. Then there's the expert. We almost have to be an expert before we can give advice. We have to learn every bit of knowledge, soak everything in. Come on, bring it all in, all this knowledge, all this understanding, before we can feel successful. The downside of this is we're never going to feel that way. There's always new information. There's always something else to learn. There's always something that we don't know. Then there's the superhero. Person who agrees to help everything, to help everybody, to try to be there for everyone, failing successfully to really manage anything. But it just encourages us to feel that imposter syndrome, that we can't reach out and affect everyone's lives, be there for everybody. It's a huge pressure. Yeah. And then we have this comparison where we feel that we should have a level of intelligence by now. Well, I should know this. I've been doing this a long time. I should be, able to completely and totally tell you what to do and understand and be able to feel this role. Well, things change. But our brains don't tell us that. Our brains are constantly chipping away at us, saying, you're not good enough. Now, imposter syndrome comes from lots of different things. And I'm not going to go into everything that we talk about, in every area that they come from on here today. It can come from incidents, educationally. We get 7 out of our 10 on our maths test. What happens? It's suggested that we're not good enough. We have to get 10 out of 10 to be good enough. See the pressure that's already building there. Already building on little Johnny or little Jane. Yeah? That's how, lots of society, lots of things are. Yeah? And we then start to take that in, we start to compound that, and we start to berate ourselves. We start to take it on and say, no, you've got to get this right. It has to be 100% right. Think about it. How many times when you were maybe learning something or in school, so you maybe didn't want to put your hand up for the fear of getting something wrong? You don't want to say the wrong thing in front of your employer or colleague in case you get something wrong. These things are big. These things affect us all. I know that I feel them. Sometimes I stand in front of people that I'm teaching or training, and I wonder if they're going to catch me out or ask me something I don't know about. But it's really important then. Really important that we understand how to deal with those feelings. The first thing I do is I try to acknowledge it, try to understand it, try to say it's okay for me to feel this way. It's okay to think, well, I don't know everything, because I don't. I may get something wrong. I may make a mistake. I make lots of mistakes doing these videos. I think I've deleted more videos than I've produced and published. And even at the start, there was lots of self-doubt. What are people going to think of these videos? How are they going to respond or react to them? And I don't know. If someone responds negatively, I'm going to be honest, I don't tend to listen, because that's their feelings. I can learn from it. If they tell me something constructive, then I'll help and I'll learn. But if it's criticism or personal, I'm not going to let it affect me. And this has happened over a period of time. Practice. By allowing myself to ease that pressure. I like to build connections. Talk to my colleagues. One thing that I've found that I've done and I like to do is I like to give praise. I like to say to people, well done. You are doing great at this. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate you. All those sorts of things. I give out as much praise as I would like back in return. We all want to hear that thing. Asking for other people's advice. Admitting to maybe friends or trusted colleagues that you don't know everything. How could they help you? It's a good way of challenging that imposter syndrome. Okay? Challenging the doubt in your mind is important. Look to see what evidence you have. When I first sat in front of a client after doing years and years of study and years of training, I didn't feel good enough. I thought that first client of mine was going to catch me out and say, you're not a real therapist. You don't know what you're talking about. And of course, I didn't know everything, and I still don't. I'm still learning. I learn new things every day. But when I challenged my doubts at the time, I had to say to myself, well, you have done all this training. You've got all this knowledge. You have all this understanding. You can help the person in front of me in different ways. So it's allowing for more that balanced view, not just listening to the negative side of my brain, but also the positive side as well. Another thing I try to avoid, and it can be difficult, is I try to avoid comparing myself to other people. We always tend to compare ourselves up. They've got a bigger house, better car, more friends, all those sorts of things. That they are better than us. They're just people with different experiences. One thing I've learned by being a therapist is that we all have the same troubles at different times, at different points in our lives. Some hide it better than others. But we all have these feelings at some point. I've had people with millions and millions of pounds in here. I've had people in here with nothing. And lots of people in between. The important thing is we're all the same. We know what we know. We have our own experience and our own knowledge. But that's it. So try to avoid comparing yourself just up that way, because there's plenty of people that are that way, plenty of people that are catching up with you, that are behind you on the start of their journey that aren't where you are right at this moment in time. So the bottom line, you don't have to be perfect. Nobody is perfect. Not even champion Olympians are perfect. Sometimes they make mistakes. They can't get it right. And a lot of the time, there's differences. The differences between them and someone like me is that they might learn, they choose to learn from the mistake that they make. And that's something that we can all do. If we make a mistake, we almost say, good. I'm happy that I make mistakes. It's when I learn the most. I'm happy when I fail because it's when I learn the most. If I'm successful, I don't really learn anything. I don't look back as much as I do when I fail and say, what did I learn from that? I say, no, that was great. Let's do that again. Yeah. So try to be kind to yourself. Try to say, this person, what I'm doing is good enough. It's here. It's the best I am doing, the best that I can give. And if you want some more information, try have a look at the resources online. There's lots of books around, lots of things that you can look at in different formats that might help you with it. And if you want advice from me or guidance from me, then please contact me. Let me know. I'll be happy to help. And I'll be happy to talk you through some of it. But for now, take care of yourself. Look after yourself because you are important. And I hope to see you soon. Thanks for listening.